Welcome back. I'm Barry Craig. Let's say that you would like to study at the School of Professional Counseling on the campus of Lindsay Wilson College in Columbia, Kentucky. And you decide that a 3-hour and 45-minute commute might be a bit daunting. Well, take heart. You can take classes right here on our campus. With me today is a delegation of 3 folks from Lindsay Wilson College. Let's begin with Dawn Cleary, who is the Lindsay Wilson representative here at our college. Welcome to the program. Dr. Martin Wesley, representing the college, and Ashley Mitchell, representing the the Madisonville Community College.
We've got one in Hopkinsville too.
Hopkinsville, that's good. So that was a happy accent. So, who wants to start first? You jump in anytime. This is very informal. Tell us about the program. I guess the most obvious thing to me is knowing where Adair County is. I've been to Columbia. It is, as we say in Kentucky, a fur piece. How in the world did you all connect up with us here in the Wild Wild West, with you over in that part of Kentucky?
You know, the School of Professional Counseling really started. I mean, we're not that old, really. We're talking only 8, 9 years old. But it came about by licensing professional counselors here in this state. And of course now every state has licensure regulations that, again, regulate counselors. And we found out very quickly that we needed professional counselors in this state, and we needed some way to prepare them. Primarily, especially in the eastern part of the state, there was a tremendous need there. So Lindsay Wilson actually started with our main campus, of course, like you say, in Adair County, but we also moved to places like Hazard, Somerset, and which is primarily in the eastern part of the state. But eventually, here we are 8 years later, and we pretty much are everywhere in the state. So not only in this state, but we're also in Tennessee, and we are in Ohio, West Virginia, and Virginia. And of course, like I said, for the most part, throughout all Kentucky. So.
And it's interesting because Lindsay Wilson is a rather small school. You said about 2,200 enrollment. Give us a little bit about the history of the college. How long has it been there?
Over 100 years. It really started out as sort of a teaching college, sort of a halfway point almost to get to Vanderbilt. So it sort of started out as sort of a 2-year college. Then it sort of moved into being a junior college, into a 4-year college, and then of course now we have offering several different master's degrees as well. It actually, a lot of people say, what is a Lindsay Wilson? Nobody really knows. And I don't know positively. It actually was started by a woman by the name of Catherine Wilson, and her cousin, nephew, his name was Lindsay. So it's actually Lindsay is a male's name. And he did not have the opportunity to go to college, and it was sort of named after him. So.
Now, it's affiliated with the United Methodist Church?
Correct.
Now, obviously, this is a fully accredited college, and this program is accredited because if you are going into this, you want to be accredited. That's obviously, that's important. Now, the degrees, what degrees do you offer in professional counseling?
Well, we actually have 2 different degrees. We have an undergrad program, and then we also have a master's program, both of which are offered here at Paducah. To do our bachelor's program, after you get your first 60 hours, even here at the community college, you would then start our program. And with the master's degree, after you have your bachelor's degree, you could then go ahead and start our program.
Well, now, the specific courses that you offer here at Paducah or other places, what are the courses? Let's say I've come to your college from my alma mater, Mayfield High School, and I was interested in this program. What's the first thing I would do?
Well, if you were at the high school level, you would definitely need to have an associate. You have to come into the program that's 60 hours. So you could get your associates here at the community college, and after that point, then you would be ready to come into Lindsay Wilson's program at the bachelor level.
Now, go ahead.
Well, I just saying the nice thing is and really why we've been successful in many ways is the partnership that we do have with the KCTCS system. And especially, I mean, we've been tremendously welcomed by the staff here, Dr. Veazey and all. And the nice thing is, again, we partner with them to where they start their program here at the community college. They can move right into our program and then get their bachelor's degree right here on the campus, but then also move right into the master's program and then work directly toward being a licensed counselor here in the state. So.
Obviously, this is a 2-year college, freshman, sophomore. So how do they get the junior and senior courses? Do you have Lindsay Wilson professors who come here and do this?
They come from everywhere. I live in Bowling Green. We have people that are living in Virginia. We have them far away as Lynchburg, Virginia, that far away, that sometimes will come to this campus and bring their expertise here. In general, we have also regions, and of course I have my regional faculty that pretty much take care of the area, but at the same time we have expertise that come from, like I said, we have faculty everywhere. So
that's interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, are the classes, are they online, or are they regular classes, or both?
Go ahead.
The classes are face-to-face. They're located right here on campus. The format is a weekend format, which is very flexible for the working adult. They're Friday nights from 4 to 9,
Right.
and Saturday days from 9 to 4.
we just believe that you can't really teach counseling, interpersonal skills on an online format. So that's why we do everything face to face.
Oh, I completely agree. Counseling online, that would be sort of a non sequitur, wouldn't it?
It makes it hard.
Yeah, it would definitely would be. And again, if a student came here, they would contact you.
Correct. I'm located here on campus. I'm actually in the Anderson building in the Advising Center, room 106. And I'm here Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 every day.
Wow, that's great. Just sort of briefly outline the course of study from the undergraduate all the way up. So what courses would I take if I wanted to do this?
Well, starting out in the undergrad, you have classes ranging from group counseling, abnormal psychology, mental health administration. Really in that undergrad degree, you're getting all the basic level of human services that you would need to work in the field. And then going on into the master's program, it's basically the next step up, just refining all of your skills so that, like you said, you go and get your license so you can be a professional counselor.
And typically, a professional counselor would work, what type of jobs are we talking about here as a professional counselor? Work in a private practice, or?
Well, yeah. Let's start actually at the level of the bachelor's degree. If you were finished the bachelor's degree here, normally it puts you at a paraprofessional type level to where you could work as a case manager type position or something like that for the state. Usually you get a decent income, but also you get great benefits, many times associated especially with agencies or municipalities or so. But when you go to and finish your master's degree, you are at a level of a professional counselor. You can move right from finishing your degree and actually get licensed as a licensed professional clinical associate with a little supervision. Then you become an independent counselor in the state. And yes, they can go into private practice. They can also, take insurance monies and things like that. I'm again an LPCC as well in the state, and I have contracts with Humana and Aetna and United and many different insurance companies. And again, our graduates can do the same thing. So.
Now the classes, the student to teacher ratio is approximately what?
It's actually it's a small college. We like to have a small classroom basically because we love the relationship that the students are able to have with their instructors. For example, sometimes we might have 10 to 15 students. I mean, we're not against having more than that, but we feel instead of having where some universities might have 100 students per class, instead we feel that small class will give you a better connection with your instructor and you're more comfortable with them, because I know the students feel very comfortable going to Dr. Wesley with any questions or anything that they're confused about. So.
Again, the part I find interesting about this is you do in other words, you take the gen ed courses with the host campus,
Absolutely.
us
Correct.
or Madisonville or wherever, and then you do this on the weekends.
Right. Well, normally you have a person that finishes their associate's degree, they need to work.
Right.
And then, so that's a way they can earn an income, but also be able to, finish some of their dreams in many cases by going to college. And I mean that we have, so really what it comes out to is 60 hours that they need to start our program. We have 48 for our undergrad program. And they need to take 20 hours. And again, that's where we really encourage them to take that actually at the community campus. 20 hours of elective courses, and then they're ready to graduate. In general, they do that in 18 months. So.
Well, of course, we've had for years a block transfer agreement with the universities in Kentucky. So it's the Associate of Arts or Associate of Science degree. Do you prefer any one particular degree, AA or AS, or?
We can work with both, yeah. But the main thing is that's where Don would really just sit down with that individual and make sure everything just fits, and find out exactly what other courses they may have to take during their course with us.
Well, let's say a student came here, and of course, obviously your first year in college, it's all gen ed. You can major in anything from physical education to physics. I mean, the first year, it's all gen ed stuff. So let's say a student became interested in your program. Are there certain prerequisites or certain courses you would like for them to take?
Definitely psychology, like Psych 100.
Okay.
And if they went on and did developmental psychology, that course would definitely help.
Yeah.
But like he mentioned, a lot of it is just getting your basics, but definitely taking those psychology courses would help prepare a student even more for our program.
Right. Sociology too, would that be?
It'd be helpful. The main thing is that like Ashley mentioned, is the developmental psych, if you can go to that level, that really does help, because that is a required course for ours, but again, we can just transfer that right over. In general, though, we also know that, people are just getting their feet wet in college. They don't know really what they want to do. They don't need to take anything very specific. If they wanted to, they started in a field that's just totally unrelated, that's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
And a lot of students do that.
Absolutely.
Change
Yes,
your
they do.
major how many
Well,
times?
not only that, but also at the graduate level as well. People coming into our graduate program, and in fact, we have a cohort starting the spring, so coming up very soon.
Actually in January.
Yeah. So if they have had a bachelor's degree in history, that's fine. We will get them prepared again within 2 years to actually become a professional counselor in that way.
I have students in my program in Madisonville who have their bachelor's degree in business. Some of them have a degree in art, but they've still been able to learn and I guess in a way you could say catch up, but really they start on a level that works for everyone.
And we're looking for people that, we don't require the GRE. We're looking for people that have a heart and a passion for people and want to change the world in that way. So that's what we're looking for. We're not looking that math is their favorite course, because I think in general, counselors, math is not their favorite subject.
Well, it's been my experience that students fall into two categories: number people and word people.
Yeah.
I'm most definitely a word person. Math is, well, anyway, we won't go into that. But,
Yeah, and I would maybe throw people in that same way, where you have maybe word and people people as well. So.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I would say most of our our students are again in that category. They want to make a difference in people. They maybe have had struggles in their own life with the lives of their family. We have people coming that are maybe 22 years old, but we have people that are in their 60s as well in our program. I think that diversity is really nice.
And that's one of the great joys of community college teaching is having students that are older than you. Now I'm almost 61. That's becoming more and more rare. But when I started here, it was very common. That's so gratifying. We call them non-traditional students.
Right.
Now so the courses are taught in Anderson, or where are they taught?
The courses are actually in the Rosenthal building.
In Rosenthal. On weekends. Now, are you offering graduate courses here yet in Paducah?
They're actually going to start in January.
In January, okay. Another thing too, to get back to something you all were talking about, and I can definitely tell that you all have a passion for this. Give us some examples of students whose lives have been changed by this. You talked about people struggling along, and give us some good examples of that from Paducah or Madisonville or wherever.
Go right ahead.
Yeah. I'll give you one example real quick. Is an individual that we had even literally taking courses, homeless, and living in their car, and taking the program in that fashion, really struggling, and then being able to graduate with a bachelor's degree, and finish her master's degree, and again, each level, of course, having the skills to be able to get a job, and now she's paying it forward, as we might say, and thanking people for what, how they helped her, but also, again, helping others that are in the same situation. So, I mean, again, we have schools in very poor areas. For example, coal mining towns, Cumberland, Kentucky, for example. We have a school there as well. Logan, West Virginia.
I know that.
Prestonsburg.
Yeah, Floyd County.
Yeah, absolutely. So, there's we're making a difference. Actually, Lindsay Wilson College, and again, the School of Professional Counseling is making a huge difference in the state and in the world in that way, I think.
Any idea why Lindsay Wilson College has this? I would think of this as maybe University of Kentucky, University of Louisville, but Lindsay Wilson College, this small school in this small town and sort of, well, not to the middle of nowhere, but it's a remote area.
Yeah,
it's not part of the big part of Kentucky. Any idea how it got started?
We've wondered the same thing. I mean, really, we have. Here we are. I think we're the largest counseling school in the nation.
Which is astonishing when you think.
Again, we're little Columbia, Kentucky. We're also the only independent school of professional counseling in the sense of, like, you may see schools of social work or schools of psychology.
Right, sure.
You never see a school of professional counseling, and we are. We have that. I mean, when we go to national conventions or something, people know Lindsay Wilson College because we're huge in that way. We made a huge difference. And so.
Well, let's say a student just decided after the 2 years, your basic stuff, they wanted to go to campus and do it. Do you have some students who actually go to Columbia and do this?
Absolutely, yeah. And sometimes they'll transfer from one of our locations. The nice thing is that we're all doing the same thing. We're all on a cohort design, meaning that they start together and they finish together. But then sometimes they move, and usually they're close to one of our campuses, and they can actually just start up, at the same place. Can I go back on one thing?
Certainly may.
You mentioned one difference, and I will throw something out. Our dean, I think, is a major player there. He just has a passion for people and has that vision. And I would also throw in the faculty and the staff. I mean, you just normally don't see academia, the ivory white tower kind of thing that you see in many different colleges. You do not see that at Lindsay Wilson. You're talking about your faculty are willing to drive sometimes 7-8 hours to come to talk to you. They always spend the night in a hotel that we set up, and get up the next morning and be willing to teach again for another 8 hours or so. So that's quite a dedication, and I think that's a reason why we've been successful.
Here in Paducah, how many people are in the program right now?
Well, we currently have 5 in the undergraduate program that has started in October. And like I said, we're going to be starting a graduate program here on campus in January. And we're looking at about 15 to 20 students starting that program.
Well, now, are they in driving distance of Paducah?
The majority of the students live in Paducah and then the surrounding areas. So they're maybe no more than 10, 15 miles from Paducah.
Are there any accommodations for, like, let's say you drove in and spent a weekend? Does that happen in some of your schools? People come in?
Some people do. And again, they develop very close relationships, wouldn't you say, that with their own cohort, and sometimes they may stay over with them too.
Right.
So.
That's really that's terrific. Now again, let's go over in the time we have left. How does one apply? They would apply to you. Give us some. We'll do another number before we end, but telephone number and all that.
Correct. Like I said, I'm actually located in the Anderson building. I'm actually in the advising center, and I'm there Monday through Friday from 8 to 4, so they can actually come in and see me during those hours. If they want to contact me by email, my email address is clearyd@lindsay.edu. So either way, they can get in touch with me. But the majority of the students I've come in touch with are people that are coming in face-to-face and seeing me in the office there in the Advising Center in the Anderson building.
I'm sure you're online as well, are you not?
Yeah, at lindsay.edu. And if you wanted / and SPC, and that'll get you directly to the School of Professional Counseling. You can also go on the very top corner, and it does say apply now, so you can actually just apply online. So.
What's so great about having Dawn here for the students is she's basically the liaison between campus and the students here in Paducah. They can do their application with her, they handle their financial aid, registration, textbooks. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop for the students, and it makes it really simple for them, and it makes the process very easy and fun even. So.
Well, now, do you do the same thing that Dawn does at Madisonville?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Are you a professional counselor background, or?
I'm not. I mean, I have a degree in counseling, but I'm not licensed yet. So.
We're working on that, but she has she teaches for us as well. What are you teaching right now?
Right now I'm teaching Introduction to Human Services, and I also have a group of students who are in their third practicum, so that are about to graduate this December, and they're very excited. So.
What is the format of classes?
Well, I mean, every class is a little different. Some instructors might want to do more a lecture type class, where other instructors, I know Dr. Wesley especially, he does more of a discussion. He likes to teach, but he also likes to have the students talk themselves and work things out themselves also. There are other classes that, like our practicums, which is where my undergrad students are now, and that's where they actually get to go on site and get experience that way. So.
And places you would go typically for your practicum would be where?
I mean, it depends on the location of the campus, but we have people working in Western State Hospital. We have them in other medical hospitals like Trover Clinic. We have people at they're in Madisonville. We have them going to a hospice. We have several people there.
Penny Royal Mental Health Center.
Penny Royal Mental Health. We have here, of course, we'll be working very much with Four Rivers. A lot of private practitioners, substance abuse facilities. A lot of it comes down to the passion of the people. Where do they want to work? So if they want to work with children, we'll try to guide them in that direction. If they want to work in substance abuse, we'll do the same.
So once you enter the program, do you start to specialize then?
The nice thing about our program is we have a large scope of practice. There's so many areas they can go into. We sort of want to expose them to all of that, to where they're sort of a generalist in many ways. But then with their interview with us and talking with us, and again, maybe even being mentored by specific professors that do specialize, they begin to develop their own area of expertise. So.
Now, the master's program, which obviously comes later, how many hours does it require?
It's a 60-hour program. It's KCREP accredited, meaning that you not only have the SACS accreditation, which of course the school here is, but also our undergrad program, but in all of our programs is SACS accredited. Absolutely essential to have a SACS accreditation, which is a regional accreditation. But then we have a professional accreditation for the program of study of professional counseling. So that's very essential as well. 60 hours, that way they can, for the most part, since they are accredited, they will be able to go to different states and be able to get that reciprocity for their license.
Do they specialize at the graduate level? Let's say you want to go into substance abuse counseling. Is that primarily what you would focus on at the graduate level?
They'll take classes in substance abuse, but again, that's where I think the practicum and the clinical experiences really help, that we guide them in those directions. Yeah.
Right.
Again, that's one of those areas of expertise that I have, and substance abuse, it definitely, I mean, they'll be in my classes. I'll hope to push many of them in that direction.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Based on your all's experience in this, what makes a good candidate for your program?
They have to be passionate and compassionate. I mean, they got to want to work hard, but they also, I don't know, you go on.
No, I like that, passionate and compassionate. I really like that. That actually fits. And again, it can be at very different ages. We've seen people that are just going through a divorce or going through, I mean, even within our own faculty right now, we have people with cancer that are really struggling. In fact, one of our, Georgia Ellis, one of our regional enrollment director right now, is at a funeral right now, and why she wasn't going to be with us today. I mean, we have people that are struggling with life sometimes, and we need people that are not perfect people
Right.
coming into our program. We need people that are passionate to help others. So, passion and compassion. I like that.
I like that
That's
too.
very good. That would be a good
Yeah.
motto for you.
Yeah.
there.
That's right. That's
We'll
right.
change our motto to that.
And again, I think it can't be stressed enough how important accreditation is and being official, because I think if you have a psychiatrist who is by training a medical doctor with a specialty in psychiatric medicine, MD on the wall, I think it really helps that they send their patients to people who are professionally qualified.
Absolutely.
I think that's really essential to do that.
Well, our graduates are all over, and many of them have started their own agencies, for example, and they do contract with psychiatrists, psychologists, partner with them, work in a group practice, and that's absolutely essential, like you say.
Well, I mean, they're allied healthcare professionals involved in that. I know that's how you all would certainly see
Sure.
see yourself
Sure.
like that. So we're running out of time, and let's again give some more information on how they can contact you here on campus.
Like I said before, I'm located in the Anderson Building, room 106 in the Advising Center, and I'm there Monday through Friday. They can contact me. My cell phone number is 270-564-2149, or they can contact me by email at clearyd@lindsay.edu.
You prefer appointments? Would you take walk-ins?
Walk-ins are very welcome.
Okay, very good. And contact information from you. You're in Bowling Green, I know, but still.
Yeah, again, I'm the regional academic director, so I'm sort of everywhere. I live out of my car for the most part. But, I mean, again, mine's Wesley m@lindsay.edu. Again, you can find me on the lindsay.edu site as well. But I'm more than willing to meet with people as well and talk with them about the program. And again, this program isn't for everyone, but at the same time, I hope they'll see our passion for the area, and that will also work toward the passion that they have internally too. So.
And if somebody up in your neck of the woods, how would they contact you?
My phone number is 836-8339, and my email address is mitchella@lindsay.edu.
Well, we are out of time now. Thank you all for joining us on the program, and it's a really interesting program. It is, and I can see that all of you have passion and compassion. My guests today were Dawn Cleary, Dr. Martin Wesley, and Ashley Mitchell of Lindsay Wilson College. I'm Barry Craig. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.